Hey guys, Marla here. Welcome back. This is the weekly reading for the week of July 16, 2016. If you would like a personal reading with me, please visit my website at eclipseastro.com, and I'd be happy to do either an astrology reading or a tarot reading for you. So we have a full moon this week at 27 degrees Capricorn. The full moon, remember, is when the moon is opposite the sun. And usually the full moon brings some kind of illumination to something. So let's see what the cards have to say. And what I'm getting from the cards is that there's kind of two scenarios kind of shaping up, and you could be dealing with one or the other or a combination of both. So the overall energy this week is the Knight of Wands. Okay, so in the first situation, you're ready to take charge, and there is definitely change in the air. Things are beginning to shift around you this week, and you are really feeling ready to go forward. You're full of passion, you're full of creativity, you have a lot of enthusiasm. It's like you're chomping at the bit. Last week we had the Six of Wands, which is victory, which is a man, a hero riding in on a horse. And that horse is kind of still, but this week the horse involved is charging forward. So you're ready for changes. Now the other thing I'm getting about the Knight of Wands is kind of like the Knight of Wands' negative characteristics. So being very impetuous, leaping without thinking, hot-tempered, maybe pushy, speaking his truth a little too bluntly. Maybe to some extent wanting to control. Of course, Wands is a fire sign, and we have Venus and Mercury have moved into Leo, and the Sun by the end of next week is going to move into Leo as well. The planet Uranus is going to be squaring the full moon this week, and today actually Uranus is squaring the Sun in Cancer. So there is some fire energy, and fire is that passion and drive. And Leo is the sign of ego. And I feel like for a lot of us, we're going to be dealing with ego issues. Either someone else's ego or your own ego is going to come out. My friend Carrie Turcotte's been talking about this coming weekend, and I'm paraphrasing her here. But she's saying something like, your ego is going to come out riding Godzilla. So you need to kind of stay alert to things. I've been noticing this in my own life in the past couple weeks, that I'm triggering people's egos a lot, which in turn, usually triggers my ego. So I'm already seeing this situation kind of happening. But let's look at the other cards first. So the second card is the Hidden Influence, and it's the Hanged Man. Okay, so let's talk about the first scenario. Here you are, ready for change, ready to move forward. You're all excited, you're raring to go, and then, the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is suspension, time in suspension. things coming to a stop. Because it's not quite the time to move forward. Okay, Spirit is saying that there's still a lot of things that need to be let go of. And maybe you haven't fully surrendered everything yet. Are you still trying to control the situation or control what's going to happen? What I'm getting is that so many people are ready to move forward. They want the change, but they're not quite sure how to go about getting the change. They're a little bit stuck, and time seems like it's kind of frozen, and they're themselves are kind of frozen in limbo. And this is actually energy that's been going on for a while, and I know people are getting frustrated with it. And in fact, that could be one reason why people's egos are getting triggered so easily. And what Spirit is saying to you is you need to let go of the outcome and surrender the whole situation to God. And when you do that, the way is going to be shown to you. The path is going to be made clear for you. And that the reason why you haven't moved forward yet is because they're trying to align things just right for you. The Hanged Man doesn't struggle. The Hanged Man is just accepting of his situation. He looks very calm, very relaxed. And that's the energy that you need to exude right now. Just calm, strength, and assurance. You know, the asteroid destined is going to be conjunct the moon at this full moon. So know that the next couple weeks are destined. It's just, it has to happen, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you may as well just surrender to what's going to happen. Everything has to be done in divine timing, not on your timing. And that might be something right now that's triggering your ego or triggering other people's egos. And it's very frustrating to have to wait. The Hanged Man, you can see as well, is reaching enlightenment. You can see that by the energy around his head. His crown chakra is opening. Uranus is square the full moon. So this could be enlightening you in some respect. The moon, as I already mentioned, is illuminating something for you. But with Uranus there, this is something that you're not expecting, that you're going to be able to see, or some situation is going to come about that you're not expecting. And so another message from the Hanged Man is that whatever happens, okay, everything is happening for a reason. You have a mission here, and your mission entails you being willing to sacrifice yourself in some way for the greater good, or sacrificing something that you desire for the greater benefit of all. And a lot of you that watch this are light workers, so you know that change and enlightenment often comes at a price. I know there's a saying about enlightenment is a destructive process because you have to release everything. You have to release all your attachments. And the Hanged Man is about releasing all the attachments, but knowing that this is a sacrifice that you agreed to make, and that once you do it, you'll receive rewards for the sacrifice that you're making. You need to see the bigger picture right now. And another lesson of the Hanged Man is to see things from a different perspective. Instead of seeing things right side up, the Hangman turns 180 degrees. And now he's upside down. Now he can see things differently. Now he sees the bigger picture. And when he sees the bigger picture through the opening of his crown chakra, he's able to surrender to divine timing, surrendering to his higher self. Let go of the struggle. Surrender to his destiny. And so briefly, the other scenario, okay, if you're dealing with ego, the Hangman is saying, again, see things from a different perspective. See the other person with love. If it's someone else's ego being triggered and they're arguing with you, don't respond. Okay, think of time being suspended. Just stop and try and walk away. And generally when we walk away and we take some deep breaths, we're able to release our own ego, which immediately puts us in a state of defensiveness. And it helps us release that defensiveness. And the truth is, when someone's ego is triggered, including your own ego, that's saying something about you more than the other person. So look for the lesson that's there for you. Ask yourself why this person is upsetting you so much. Usually it's like what we are objecting to in other people usually is something that we're objecting to in ourselves. So see if you can find some higher wisdom by doing that. And an aspect that's happening at this full moon is the asteroid Wisdom is square to Jupiter. So this is energy of an expanding crown chakra, seeing the bigger picture, tapping into the infinite wisdom of your soul. Allowing your higher self to come through. Okay, and the last card is our Advice from Spirit card. And it's the Three of Swords. Well, the Three of Swords kind of represents to me the ultimate release. The ultimate release of pain and fears, and it deals with issues of abandonment and betrayal letting go of things is never an easy process. Even if it's something that we don't necessarily feel we need in our life anymore, there's often still attachments there. And I'm feeling like for many of you, there's going to be some tough choices needing to be made, if not this week, in the very near future. And I'm feeling kind of choices where there is no winner or loser. Just a choice that is painful in some respect. The Uranus square can also bring about some kind of painful truth, some kind of awakening or enlightenment, in which you see something from a different perspective and it causes you pain in some respect. Something's hurtful. Someone could say something hurtful to you. Okay, swords is often communication. Swords are mental as well. Could be your own mental issues causing you anguish of some kind. Of course, there's a lot of pain being released from the planet right now. So much violence happening. And, I would encourage you not to dwell too much in the violence and the hype. So, don't have CNN on 24 hours a day. And so Spirit is saying that, what you have agreed to make a sacrifice, okay? And it's painful. It's going to bring up feelings of abandonment and betrayal a little bit. You could be dealing with inner child issues especially. Okay? And I think anytime we're dealing with feeling abandoned, that really triggers that little girl or boy inside of you who is still harboring pain from childhood and from past lives. So you may need to work on your inner child. And I'm getting that it's important for you at this time to just kind of feel the pain of it all. Just sit with the pain. Accept it. And that it's through feeling this pain that you're going to see things differently. You're going to see the bigger picture. And this is going to teach you some kind of lesson that's very necessary in order for you to really charge forward. It's some lesson that you just have to learn because it will help you in the future, although you may not see it now. There's also a possibility here of a dark night of the soul type of energy occurring for some of you. Which, for those of you that don't know, is it's when it's actually like the destruction of your ego. So having to go through a painful process of destruction, of letting go of your attachments, which triggers your ego into feeling, those abandonment issues. But in the long run, it's what allows you to release your ego and ego attachments. And then, so in the other situation that I mentioned, okay, if it's not clear, like someone else could say something hurtful through their ego. Someone could hurt your ego, or you could say something to someone coming from your own ego that you're going to feel bad about afterwards. And also at this full moon this week, we're having that grand trine, the Sun, Mars, Chiron. And I mean, think about it. The Sun can be seen to represent the ego. Mars is us wanting to rush forward. Now that Mars is direct, Mars is starting to pick up speed. We're getting that feeling of, come on, let's go, let's move. And then Chiron is going to offer us healing. And once you have the heartbreak, that allows you to heal, because it's that breaking open of your heart that breaks down the walls around it. And that's what allows the healing to come in. So it's all for the good in the long run, and it's all destined, and it's all divinely timed. So don't get all worked up about it. Don't get worried or interfere about it. Just surrender to the process. And sometimes some of these things are just a simple inner revelation. It doesn't have to be something dramatic where, it's everyone's situation is different. So just don't get yourself worked up over what might be coming down the pipeline. So the goddess that's overseeing the Capricorn full moon is Hathor. Receptivity. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. You have a maternal side to you that naturally cares for those in need, yet this must be balanced with receptivity, or the flow is blocked. Receiving is the essence of feminine energy, and it means allowing yourself to receive with grace and gratitude. If you feel guilty when asking others for help, or if you feel bad about receiving gifts, then you block your feminine energy. Your receptivity is just as natural as your nurturing, giving energy. Receptivity allows you to better hear the voices of the angels. When you receive, you have more resources to give others. Begin by noticing the 100 of gifts that you receive each day, whether it's seeing beauty in nature, witnessing a touching human moment, or being hugged by a loved one. Simply say, thank you for each gift, and know that they're filling up your storehouse, keeping the divine flow going strong. So be still and listen. Release guilt about receiving. Ask for help. Increase psychic awareness. Know that you're in a learning cycle. Healing is occurring. Be more in your feminine energy. Child conception, pregnancy, or birth, including adoption or favorable custody arrangements, are issues in your life. Well, Hathor goes with the previous cards in a few ways, because she's talking about increasing psychic awareness, which we're doing through surrendering. Know that you're in a learning cycle. So know that the situations in your life that you're dealing with are necessary lessons for you and something that your soul planned. I think it's important to balance the feminine energies now as well. You're wanting to take action, but we're being guided to be still, and the stillness is allowing the feminine energy to come in and increase your psychic abilities, to give you guidance. To the feminine energy is your inner knowing, the inner knowing of your truth. Okay, and they just said, like, in order to move forward, they want you to feel 100% confident in your inner knowing of who you are and your truth. And that's why it's kind of important right now to delay things a little bit, because they really want you to be resolved and 100% confident, comfortable with where you're moving. And lastly, that healing is occurring. And, this really is going to allow for something much bigger and much better to come into your life very soon. So stay positive. Stay calm. You might want to spend a lot of time alone this week. I love you so much, and I will talk to you soon.